Hello and welcome back to Explaining Acro. I'm Ben and this is Cassandra, and today we're going to be taking you on a tour of our home training space. We designed the space for a few different reasons. The first is that we both have remote jobs and training can sometimes be hard. By having the space in our house, we reduce the friction needed in order to get out and train. Even if we're not doing Acro directly, we spend a lot of time out here just rolling out or working on our mobility, and it's a great way to do that. Another reason is that we like to have private coaching sessions. Whether we're taking a lesson or giving a lesson, it's really nice to have a private space in order to do that. If we're doing these things at some kind of circus gym, often it's noisy, we have lots of friends there, and there's all sorts of distractions. So this really lets us focus in. It also lets us save on facility fees that might be associated with lessons. Another big reason is that we live in Las Vegas. In the summer, it can get well over 100 degrees, and in most of the acrobatic and circus gyms here, the climate control isn't the best in the summer and it can get really, really hot. In this house, we have 2 air conditioners so we can keep it nice and cool even in the summer. In the training space itself, we have carpet bonded foam mats from Dolomer. They are 2¼ inch thick. We got a 42-foot roll of a factory second. So there was like a little problem at like one of the ends. They trimmed off and sent it to us. This was perfect for us because we were going to trim the mats anyway, and it let us save a little bit of money. This truss is a safety tool. We really want to make sure that we're working with professionals in order to get something in the space that is properly designed and installed so that we can keep ourselves safe while we are training.
We quickly accumulated quite a few items in our training space. And this led us to trying to figure out how can we organize these items, but keep them functional and accessible for our training. We also wanted to minimize this amount of space that they took up due to the limited space of the house and the training space. And this led to me and Ben coming up with the idea of floating shelves. And these floating shelves you see here, they are organized with all of our different toys that we use often, such as handstand blocks, and then the bins are full of items such as resistance bands, lacrosse balls, things that we use pretty daily. And my favorite part of the shelves is this bottom part. We had these juggling clubs and other recovery toys that we weren't sure what to do with. They just were awkward and took up space that we wanted to keep for training. Ben came up with a great idea of these wine glass hangers. We ordered these and screwed them into the bottom of the shelf, and they're the perfect size for various clubs and other tools that we can hang on there. And they don't take up any extra space that we would want for training.
I started to build a home gym for the first time back when we were living in Seattle during the coronavirus pandemic. I never really liked driving to the gym or waiting for equipment, and I don't really like wearing a shirt in the gym, to be honest. So having this in my garage is just super convenient. It also lets me have all sorts of weird custom attachments. I have a lot of specialty bars, cable attachments, blocks that I can use for random setups, and really just leave things set up however I want to. One of the most important things in this gym is this swamp cooler. It helps keep us nice and cool in here during the summer. Also, we have these really nice camping chairs. They give us a comfortable place to sit between our sets, and they even have a bunch of random pockets for things like cell phones and water bottles and anything else that you'd like. In a lot of ways, this rack is the centerpiece of the gym. Now, the original gym I had a much shorter rack that was much lighter weight. But over time, I learned exactly what it is that I wanted. So I care a lot about having space for 2 people to do stuff at the same time. This lets Cass and I, work out together. I can have a friend over and do things like that. So I have an extra pair of spotter arms that can go on the front here. So we're gonna have 2 people squatting or someone benching and someone squatting at the same time. Another really nice feature of this rack is that there is a built-in pulley system. So these on each side, there is a separate cable stack, and they can also be combined. So we can get a total of about 300 pounds of resistance or about 150 pounds on each side. This is more than I need for just about anything. And I find that cables are great for all sorts of back exercises, as well as various like upper body accessory movements. The other thing I really like about this rack is that we have all this weight storage on the back, which really saves space because I really like being able to move around the gym, and the floor space is really at a premium. Like in our training room, we have a lot of stuff. So we really value the ability to keep things organized and out of the way so that we can find what we need quickly, but not trip over it as we're going about our business. So I have these pegboards on the wall that I use to organize everything. Over here, I have a couple cable attachments, but this leg roller that I use for like lat pull downs, as well as split squats, various things for rack attachments. I have a bunch of cable things. I really like these kind of mag grip knockoffs that I got off of Amazon. The grips feel really good. I'm able to play around with different angles and things like that. I have this piece that I use for combining the two stacks together on the front. I have this landmine handle that I obviously don't use too much. I have a weight vest. I have some little ankle cuff attachments that I use for hamstring curls. And then I have this long ab strap that I like a lot for rowing exercises, cable crunches, or lat prayers, or cable pullovers, as you might know them as. And then finally in this corner, I have some more kind of weightlifting odds and ends, as well as some yoga blocks and training logs. In this corner, I have my various specialty bars. I find that these are really helpful for keeping my joints healthy, as well as offering some variation. They give me kind of different grips than traditional bars, and in some cases are just a little bit more ergonomic, and I really do enjoy that kind of variation. And if I'm a little bit banged up, I can usually find something that feels good. I also have a little dip attachment for my rack in the corner over here for doing dips, as well as my adjustable bench. And behind it, I have this kind of cool thing over here that I can, it's called a utility seat. I can attach it to my rack, and I like to sit on it for performing leg extensions. You can also use it for things like seal rows or step ups or things like that. But in practice, I find that I mostly just use it for leg extensions. Next to the bars, I have my adjustable dumbbells. If you only had one home gym item, I would definitely recommend adjustable dumbbells. These are Nuabells, and they can be adjusted by just twisting and rotating like this. It's super convenient. I used to have old kind of twist lock ones. They kind of stab me in the leg, give bruises all the time, and this is just a much better design. And then next to these, I have this, it's called the Freak Athlete Nordic Hyper. It's a nice piece that you can use for a lot of things, such as back extensions, but I primarily use it for Nordic curls, as well as kind of incline leg raises, so abdominal training. And on our patio, we have my favorite recovery tool, and that is the sauna. I use it nearly every day, and I've noticed a big difference with it. I have an Oura ring, and I can actually tell a difference in the data of my sleep and my recovery when I do not use the sauna. Now, we do not have a cold plunge, which is the immediate follow-up question that everyone asks. We do have a hose that we sometimes use between rounds of sauna, but I'm just not particularly convinced that when it comes to recovery and performance, that a cold plunge is an effective tool. And as it is, I'm just very happy with the sauna. Our living room is on the other side of our training space, and we have this hand-carved African recovery chest that we found on Facebook Marketplace. Inside of this, we have all of our more bulky recovery tools. So we have things like compression sleeves, electric stim, massage tools, as well as various heat therapy devices.
I don't often use a lot of our recovery tools, but this is one that I use pretty frequently. This is a heating and massage belt, and it's primarily made for the back. You can use it really anywhere because of how large it is, but I like to just wrap it around. I get to turn on the heat. It has a couple levels, and then also a vibrating pattern that you can change based on your liking. I like this belt not just for training and keeping my body warm for acrobatics and dance, but I also use this during the workday at my desk to help me stay warm and also just help my back with sitting in a chair all day.
Thanks for coming up with us on this tour of our home gym and training space. I want to take a moment to point out that we have a lot of fancy toys and they make us very happy, but you do not need things like this. We started doing Acro together in the park, and you can get a ton done in the park with your friends, at a cheap gym membership, or even with just your own body. We get a lot of questions about what exactly our setup looks like, so we wanted to share this in order to answer some of those questions. If you have questions about like specific gear that we didn't cover in this video, leave those in the comments down below and we'll be sure to respond to you. The other reason really wanted to share this was I think that it's a really nice example of us finding something that we absolutely love and then building literally our home around it and investing a lot of time and money into it. I think that's a great endeavor to partake in, kind of whatever your passion is. So if you're interested in doing something like this with your space, I hope this gave you some ideas, or even just some inspiration to find that one thing that really makes you tick and really go deep on it. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future, and we'd really appreciate it if you leave a like. Till next time.